So a while back, I made a video called Haven't Filed Taxes in Years? Here's what to do. On that video, Nathan Dale 2738 asks, why wouldn't the IRS send a letter stating they filed a tax return for you? Why do I have to check the IRS website to see if they did? That way I sign in and consent to unfiled tax returns, or did I miss something? Will they send a letter? Yes, Nathan, they will send a letter to your last known address. Examples of these letters, I can pull some up here. We got the CP59. You can see CP59 right up here in the upper right hand corner. IRS is sending out tens of thousands of these a week right now to non-filers that the IRS is targeting. And I think I made a video about the CP59. Link to that video here at the top of the screen. You need to file your tax return, right? Here's one that one of our clients got on May 27th. You need to file your 2020 tax returns. Basically urging you to file tax returns. A brief notice. Another letter for delinquent returns the IRS is sending out right now is the 2566. You can see this one's dated July 1st, 2024 for 2018. We still have not received your 2018 1040. It's like, hey, it's July 2024. Your 2018 1040 was due like 5 years ago. What's going on? And here's where they actually calculate what they would, or show you what they would calculate your liability to be if they prepare a substitute for return, or SFR, for you. My whole video on SFRs here is at the top of the screen. There's a link to it there. And as a matter of fact, to your point about consenting to the assessment, you can consent with the IRS's proposed assessment, right, on this response form. I agree with the proposed amount due. I consent to the assessment on 2018 income tax and understand that I owe such and such, and then penalties and interest and everything, sign and date return to the IRS. Now, I would say, except in very rare cases, that's probably not a good idea, because in this calculation that the IRS makes here, it's not giving you any deductions other than the standard deduction, right? So if you're 1099 or you have a small business, you report on Schedule C, okay, your 1099 might say you made $100,000, but you had all these business expenses during the year to make the $100,000, right? You actually only netted maybe 20 or something, right? IRS is going to tax you on that 100, right? You got to tell the IRS about all those expenses to get you down to 20. Okay. It's if you're married, it's going to assume your filing status is married filing separately. Well, if the IRS thinks you're married, it's going to call you married filing separately. If you're single, it's just going to file single, even though you might qualify for head of household. If you have a dependent, it's not going to give you any credits for your dependents, no credit for other dependents, no child tax credit, no itemized deductions. Like I said, I mean, it's a very rough, it's a tough assessment because it doesn't give you a lot of tax benefits, none except the standard deduction, really. So it's usually in your best interest to file that original return. And then after that assessment has been made, before that assessment has been made, you'll get what's called a notice of deficiency here. And basically saying, hey, you have 90 days to contest this. The IRS's the amount they claim that you owe is a deficiency. Basically what they think you owe in taxes. You have 90 days to file a tax court petition. You could also just administratively deal with it with the IRS as well during this period, but that 90-day period to petition the tax court is a hard deadline. It is 150 days if you live outside the United States. And those deadlines, by the way, are from the date of the notice, not from the date that you received this notice. Is from the date printed at the upper right-hand corner of the notice. So I guess, and there's other notices too the IRS sends for delinquent returns. These are just some of the common ones we're seeing right now. And I don't remember exactly how I phrased it or what I said in that video that would give rise to the specific question. But, oftentimes the situation is we get a lot of chronic non-filers, folks. Folks haven't filed in 5 years, 10 years, or even longer. And we got to strategize how to approach that. But the issue is these people have very often moved since the last time they filed a tax return. So yeah, the IRS may have sent them these notices, but it sent them the notice to the address that they lived at the last time they filed the tax return. right? So that's why I gave, I think, some insight in that video about how to figure out the IRS has filed a tax return for you, an SFR, substitute for return, even if you know, haven't been receiving notices from the IRS because they've gone to a different address, right? And that's, I think, maybe what I was talking about when I was talking about checking the IRS website or your transcripts to see if they did that, Nathan. All right, folks. Thank you so much for watching. And hey, if you have unfiled tax returns and you want to get right with the IRS, want to get in compliance, make sure they don't pop out of the blue one day and do all these SFRs for you like they do for, you know, some of our clients, as you've seen here, and they say, hey, guess what, you owe us $50,000 for this year, and then the next year they're going to do another SFR for this other year and say, hey, you owe $60,000 for that one, you know, penalties and interest are you know, keep on accruing, levying your bank account, garnishing wages. If you want, if this is your situation and you want to get out ahead of this, as you should, not to scare anybody, but if you don't file your tax returns, that kind of starts to look like tax evasion, right? I mean, it's kind of one thing to maybe be a little aggressive on your deductions on your tax return, right? But you're still reporting your income and still paying tax. Kind of something else to not report your income at all to the government. Okay, just putting that out there. If you want to get right about the situation and you want a professional in your corner, give us a call at Choice Tax Relief, 866-8000-TAX, 866-8000-829. Or fill out the form on our website at choicetaxrelief.com, and we will reach out to you. I also have some other videos here on the left-hand side of the screen about what to do if you have fallen behind on your tax return filings. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.